it's right about time that the Nigerian government needs to shift from a mono-economic country to a diversified country. Um, for as far back as the last 20 years, the main the GDP contribution to largely to the economy of Nigeria is through oil, and needless for us to know that there are other sources that the Nigerian government can make money into the GDP. Unfortunately, Africa is endowed with these mineral resources, but again, our approach to to be the overall boss, or to be in control of these mineral resources, is being challenging. I can tell you that the 2014, 2015, up to 2020 solid mineral report by NAITI shows that it's just about 0.5, if not less than 0.5% contribution of GDP to the, contribution to GDP, and that's quite on it's not friendly to Nigeria, owing to the fact that we have various mineral resources in the country. But of course, the challenge is what the question is all about when we look at the illegal mining. But again, I must use this opportunity to say that illegal mining is not to be mixed with what we refer to as artisanal miners. The artisanal miners, when they are registered with government, are legal, because there's a department in the Ministry of Solid Minerals that, of course, in the Ministry of Mines and Steel, that recognize artisanal miners. But of course, you could mine big, but of course you are illegal. So being an illegal and being legal is a function of the fact that you are actually registered with the Federal Republic of Nigeria with a license to mine. These illegal miners, what's usually made them different, that differentiate them from who is legal, is that, of course, the legal miner have royalties that is to be remitted to the purse of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and of course that is going to be what is going to accumulate to the GDP contribution into the national purse. So, but of course, if you are not known to be legal, then of course the government is not expecting any royalty from that side. So again, and of course, we need not to overemphasize the fact that gold, as it may be, is another medium of exchange, and not necessarily for you to carry cash, 1 million naira cash, 2 million cash. And of course, by the time you get into this minefield and you're able to get some ounces or some grams of gold, of course that can actually pass as a means of exchange. So, and again, when you look at our border zone, our country border zones, and how porous it is, then you can agree with me that you can carry gold worth even 5 million naira and above just right in your pocket, and you just sit in a vehicle, crossing the country, and then you are just there. So again, so if you look at the amount of ammunitions that 5 million, ordinary 5 million naira can get you, then you can begin to understand the proliferation of small and arms into the country via just mining in that context. To stop the illegal mining is very simple. You need to know who is operating at any position in this country. You need to know who they are. So you have to document them. And of course, in the aspect of who documents them, so we can, you can partner some NGO, and you have every person that is tilting any portion of the country, you have them documented, so that at any point in time, if there are any issues, then you can tell such environment to which this illegal mining is coming up. Then again, you have talked about some zones, some states in the country. Of course, geologically, we recognize that the western half of the country, right from the upper Zamfara, Kebbi, down to Niger, down to Kwara, is highly rich in gold. So you can link that to the preponderance of whether illegal mining or even those that are legal around that zones. So these are the reasons why you have them around that zones in that context. But again, like my narration say earlier, that you don't just allow people to just come to your corridor or to your environment and just start cutting away your property. You are not going to allow them. But again, you should know that for thief to come to your house, he's not coming bare-handed. He's coming with guns, and because he need to terrify you, he need to make you know that I'm not here for joke. So because if I have gun, I'm the owner of my house and I have gun, then a thief is coming without gun. So obviously I'm going to so the government needs to put themselves in that perspective that you need to prepare for the thief that is coming to your corridor, that's coming to your zones. You need to prepare for them. So either you have a man, area, machines that's going to monitor, that's going to zoom down and monitor who is, mining at any point in time in the country. Is worth it, because the worth is that at the end of the day, if they are doing it legally, because they are legal and they are documented with you. So if you have mined 2 ounces of gold, there is an amount of at least 5% of volume tax to be remitted to the purse of the nation. So this is the leakages. And by the time you look at the percentage of the leakages, I can tell you, you have almost 95% leakages. So you're just having 5%. So by the time you change the narration of you having at least 95% income and maybe 5% leakage, of course we cannot have a 100% situation. So, but of course this is what is going on, and I think government just have to deliberately look into this. For example, China is controlling 95% of rare metals in the world. This is a deliberate action. It is not about, oh, just let me leave them. No matter what, even if it is just ounce of gold that you have mined in the shores, in the land of the country, you have to account for it. So, and it's going to be deliberate. I keep emphasizing that government just have to deliberately do all what it takes, because that is where you're going to have the fund. It is just quite interesting that crude oil is not more like solid minerals. Crude oil, you can imagine that you just have your bottle of Coke and you have your straw in it, so you can actually control what you are, what you are taking in. But of course, you can have some gold that can traverse, say, even 1, 2, 3 kilometers. That you see some section of who you refer to as illegal miner here. In just 100 meters, you see some other group. In another 200 meters, you see another group. So you can have them preponderantly like that. So, but of course, for oil, you can moderate, the theft in oil industry. But in solid mineral, it's quite not easy that way, because when you storm at the field, even if you have come with 2 battalion of soldiers, 40, you can't chase, because sometimes you see them in numbers over hundreds in a zone. So if you have 100 illegal miners, 100 persons mining illegally somewhere, maybe, my friend, you need another 200 soldiers to come to that zone. But of course, one good thing is that they don't just come in numbers like that. They don't just come in 100 and they start mining. They come in 2, they come in 3, 4, and of course, by the time they see that nobody is checking them, then this one called the other one, oh, my friend, I'm making good money here. Before you know what's happening, they turn it to a village, a mini village. We have example of many of zones like that in the country, that of course you will see that in fact the real villagers in terms of population are less than even the illegal miners that are coming around there, because this is a business. We need to just, like I said, deliberately put more mind into this solid mineral business, because those guys are not going to just wait for you to come around, because when you come around, you're going to displace them. But of course, I think sensitization is inevitable. Sometimes you don't need to tell them that I'm displacing you. You come with a friendly note. The village chiefs, those guys that can talk to them, the religious leaders around there can talk to them. Okay, listen, you are devastating the environment. Why don't you allow somebody who is going to make it look interesting, who's going to build good roads, who's going to build good schools around that zones? Of course, that's what mining is known for. You can see maybe an example of Abajana in the last 20 years. Abajana is just quite, just pass through a bush like that. But today, you can traverse that area and you can see the expansion of, events around that area. So that's what mining, is actually bringing forth when it's, is well, established. So if you sensitize them that, okay, you don't need to do it legally. In fact, your 5 million naira, you can make it. Sometimes the value chain, you can have them incorporated into your company, and they work with you, and they make more money. And of course, again, my friend, if I have a relaxed environment to go work and I can make money, then why should I go into some social vices aspect of life? And that I know that where I'm just planning, somebody can just shoot my leg. So I'm going to think twice, either to do it normal and feel free and enjoy my life. And then very soon we say, oh, Nigerians are moving abroad and all those things. So what are they moving to? They're just moving to a good ground, moving to a place whereby they feel they are secure. Nobody is just coming to harm them anyhow. Even if we know that they make some little change, but they just feel that okay, this little change I'm making is just good for me. So that is just the environment to which we need to. Sometimes who you are referring to as bandits, who you are referring to are just guys that are just trying to make ends meet. But their fear is that by the time government comes in, you're going to displace them. And when you displace them, you don't have any other job that you're going to give them. And these guys are actually making money. So you see, it's a kind of a dicey situation whereby the government again deliberately have to come in, sensitize them, make them know that you are not actually chasing them because they're doing, but you just want them to do it nice, well. So that is just, is a give and take kind of a relation between the government and these guys. Well, of course, there's no way you talk about mining in such case that you don't look at manpower. You still need these guys to work with you. So that is why the sensitization just have to go there. Of course, if people in the religious houses could preach to you, well, not everybody knows that stealing is not good. Of course, I can steal good amount of money, but if somebody is telling me don't do it, that is not good. If you do it, you are going to hellfire, you are going to this, and you try to consider. So somebody is telling you, oh, don't cheat Federal Republic of Nigeria, because if you do so, you are not going to have a good road, you are not going to do this. So we need some of all these to be said in the religious houses, because these guys too are not, they are not alien in that context. They still, relate with you. They talk to people, they are brothers, they have sisters. So we need to talk to them that, okay, what you are doing is actually illegal in the context of the fact that you are cheating the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That if you do it well, then of course you're still going to make money and it's still going to be good. Then again, government again needs to step up in infrastructural development in rural areas. We just have to do this thing. And I kept asking, should there be only federal capital that you can have good roads, that you can have good bridges, that you can have skyscrapers? No, this is just a position. Federal capital is just a location. So it doesn't mean that there's honey down FCT. So why can't I have it in Samfara? Why can't I have good road? Why can't I have good stores? Mr. Biggs. Why can't I have ShopRite in Samfara? You understand? Because the highs too sees good things. You understand? So some of them, even if they just come on holidays to FCT and they see good ShopRite, they see good, so they just look back and say, oh, when I'm back in my village, all I see is just mountain, I just see trees, I see trashes on the road. So not everybody want good thing, So government just have to try. We know they are trying, but of course they have to try more and make sure that so that people can go back to the villages. Of course, my brother, and I tell you that most of the economic gains come from these local places. You cannot do mining in FCT except you are just doing quarrying. But you cannot do gold mining in FCT, for example. Even if there's gold under the NNPC or CBN, it's not easy because you cannot blast. If you blast there, you will affect this. So you can't do that. So you're still going back to the same places that you need money to fund, the economy. So you just have to deliberately put these people, let them know that you are with them. Because the money is actually coming from there. You cannot do agriculture in front of CBN. You cannot do commercial agriculture in front of NNPC. Then somebody is telling you, if I want to go into the bush to farm, somebody is coming to attack me. So we just have to try, so that at the end of the day, government is going to gain. Because all the resources, the gains, the royalty, the incomes, everything is coming back to the center. But where you are expecting, income, you are not putting enough to that zone. So I think we just have to do this more.